You know, I've always loved the Marlin lever action rifles. It's been around for a long time. In a 30-30, they've been a favorite for deer hunting and hunting in dense brush and heavily wooded areas. And it was one of the first rifles I ever bought when I was a youngster. I even brought down my first deer with it. And it was one rifle that I truly regret selling back then. So after all these years, I was looking for, that was probably back in 1978, 1979, something like that. So I've been looking around and I was looking for one of the pre-crossbolt safety models. And I found one. According to this one, it's the serial number, it was made in 1971. And definitely has some wear and tear on it, but it's in great shape. There's no, when I cleaned it up and took a look at it, there's no rust, there's no pitting in the metal. The action's smooth. The buttstock and the forearm, it definitely needs some work. It looks like the buttstock is a replacement. The forearm looks factory on it. I took it to the range and shot it, sighted in at 50 yards, and it shot great. The action's smooth. It's still, the bore's in good shape. It was really accurate. So I'm kind of excited to get this project started. When I took it to the range, I saw a few mechanical issues I want to address, but overall, in good shape. I mean, I noticed when I was sighting it in, the rear sight here, it's kind of cocked up a degree or two on the right side, so it's not really horizontal. I was still able to bead in on the target, but it's kind of a distraction, so when I take all this apart, I'll see if I can bend this back into shape. Or replace it if I have to. I don't think I'll have to, but we'll see. A big thing I noticed, the lever arm here, and you can see it pops open really easy. I'd like a little more solid fit. So when I take it apart, you can see what I'll take notice. Let's see if you can see that there. The plunger and the plunger spring, the trigger, and probably the sear in there. I'll take a close look and see, did somebody try to file it down to get that quick action out of it, or is it just worn down? What else? There's you can see the rear band here, and I already drilled it out. But the rear band screw was stripped, so I was going to take it out and see what was up, so, just replace it, but could not get it out. It was, I tried a screw extractor, it just would not budge, so I ended up just having to drill out the head of the screw, and I took a punch, and when I went through there, it finally came out, and the screw was bent, and I can show you on the next video. But so I'll be replacing the rear band screw and the rear band itself. Probably looks like I had to drill out too much of it. But what else? There's a few mechanical issues here and there. Those are the ones that stick out in my mind. Once I start taking it apart, and I'll inspect all the pieces and see if there's anything need to be replaced. But when I take it apart, you can see the bluing on it is really worn down, just all over. So when I take it apart, I'm going to re-blue it, probably the cold bluing process, and see how that turns out. If that doesn't turn out well, for some reason, I might try one of the coatings, like a Cerakote or the Durablue, something like that. Just the only thing, the difference, I mean, the cold bluing's a treatment to the metal, while the other stuff's more of a coating. So you got to take into account the thicknesses that you're adding to the metal. But in the stocks, I'll try to, you know, get rid of all the bumps and bruises, and see if I can steam it, swell it up, and then sand it back down and see if that will get rid of some of that stuff. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this buttstock or not, but we'll see once the time comes. So this one, it's definitely a well-used gun. It looks like it probably spent a lot of time under the seat or behind the seat of a pickup, you know, that kind of truck gun, which is fantastic. But that's the project. In the next few weeks I'll be going through the processes and filming it, and so be sure to subscribe to our channel and watch the process. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and on our website, b3tactical.com. So stay tuned.